The land of shadows. In a world where light and darkness danced an eternal waltz, there existed a realm known as the land of shadows. This mysterious and enchanting place lay beyond the veil of the visible world, where shadows were not mere absences of light but entities with lives and stories of their own. The entrance to this shadowy kingdom was hidden in the depths of the ancient whispering forest, known only to a few. Among those few was Elara, a young woman with an insatiable curiosity and a heart full of courage. She had inherited an old, weathered journal from her grandmother, filled with tales of the land of shadows. The journal spoke of a hidden doorway within the forest, a portal to a world where shadows held sway and the secrets of the universe were whispered on the wind. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest was bathed in twilight, Elara set out on her journey. She carried the journal, a lantern, and a small silver key that had been passed down through generations. The key, her grandmother had said, was the only way to unlock the portal. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around her, their branches forming a canopy that blocked out the waning light. The air grew cooler, and the shadows lengthened, taking on shapes that seemed almost alive. Elara felt a shiver of anticipation and fear as she approached the spot described in the journal, a clearing with a large, ancient oak at its center. The oak tree was massive, its gnarled roots spreading out like the fingers of a giant hand. Elara searched the base of the tree until she found a small, hidden door, almost invisible against the rough bark. Taking a deep breath, she inserted the silver key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a swirling vortex of darkness. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement, Elara stepped through the portal. She found herself in a world that was both familiar and alien. The land of shadows was a place where the sky was perpetually twilight, with a soft, diffuse light that cast everything in shades of gray. Shadows moved independently of their sources, gliding gracefully over the landscape like living creatures. As Elara walked through this ethereal world, she noticed that the shadows seemed to be drawn to her. They whispered in a language she could almost understand, their voices like a gentle breeze rustling through leaves. She followed a path that seemed to beckon her forward, leading her to a grand, shadowy palace that loomed on the horizon. The palace was a marvel of dark beauty, its spires and turrets formed from the deepest shadows. Elara approached the entrance, her heart pounding with a mix of awe and fear. The massive doors opened silently before her, and she stepped inside. The interior of the palace was bathed in a soft, shimmering darkness that felt strangely comforting. Elara was greeted by a figure cloaked in shadows, their features indistinct but their presence commanding. This was the Shadow King, the ruler of the land of shadows. "Welcome, Elara," the Shadow King said, his voice deep and resonant. "I have been expecting you." Elara felt a surge of curiosity. "You know my name? How is that possible?" The Shadow King smiled, a faint glimmer of light in the darkness. "Your grandmother was a dear friend of mine. She spoke often of you and your adventurous spirit. She knew that one day you would find your way here." Elara felt a pang of sorrow and longing. "My grandmother. She always spoke of this place with such wonder. But she never told me why it was so important." The Shadow King nodded. "The land of shadows is a place of balance, where the light and the dark coexist in harmony. Your grandmother was one of the few who understood the importance of this balance. She helped protect this realm from those who would seek to exploit its power." As they spoke, Elara learned of the true purpose of the land of shadows. It was a sanctuary for lost and forgotten things, memories, dreams, and even souls. The shadows were guardians of these precious fragments, ensuring that they were not lost to the void. The Shadow King explained that the realm was under threat from a force that sought to plunge it into eternal darkness. "You, Elara, have a unique gift," the Shadow King said. "Your ability to understand the shadows is rare. You can help us restore balance and protect this realm." Elara felt a sense of destiny settle upon her shoulders. "What must I do?" The Shadow King handed her a small, obsidian dagger. "This blade can cut through the darkest shadows, but it can also heal. You must journey to the heart of shadows, deep within this realm, and use the dagger to restore the balance. The way will be perilous, but I have faith in you." With the dagger in hand, Elara set out on her quest. She traveled through landscapes of haunting beauty and danger, guided by the whispers of the shadows. She faced many challenges, but her resolve never wavered. Along the way, she encountered other beings who had found refuge in the land of shadows, each with their own stories and wisdom to share. Finally, she reached the heart of shadows, a place where the darkness was so deep it seemed to swallow the light. Elara felt the weight of the realm's suffering and knew she had to act quickly. She raised the obsidian dagger and plunged it into the darkness. The blade glowed with a fierce light, cutting through the shadows and restoring the delicate balance between light and dark. As the realm began to heal, Elara felt a surge of energy flow through her. The shadows around her seemed to dance in joy, their whispers filled with gratitude. She knew that she had fulfilled her destiny and honored her grandmother's legacy. Returning to the palace, Elara was greeted by the Shadow King and the inhabitants of the realm. They celebrated her bravery and the restoration of balance. The Shadow King presented her with a pendant made of shadow and light, a symbol of her connection to the land of shadows. "Thank you, Elara," the Shadow King said. "You have saved our realm and ensured that the balance will endure." Elara smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "I will always remember this place and the lessons it has taught me." With a heavy heart, she bid farewell to the land of shadows and stepped back through the portal, returning to the whispering forest. The doorway closed behind her, leaving her with memories of a world where light and darkness danced in harmony. Elara returned to her village, carrying the pendant as a reminder of her journey. She shared her story with others, teaching them the importance of balance and the beauty of the shadows. And so, the legend of the land of shadows lived on, a testament to the courage and wisdom of those who dared to venture into the unknown and restore harmony to a realm of mystery and wonder.